So this is our simulation for rocket motor static testbed circuit. So I am using here Arduino Mega Max 31855 module along with K type thermocouple, an SD card module to store the data, load cell along with HX711 module, a relay for ignition, and to demonstrate the ignition I am using lamp instead of nichrome wire. Here these LED and buzzers are for safety purposes to warn the user if the exhaust temperature is above 1300. The calibration button is to recalibrate the load cell if some problem happens or wrong value is shown by the load cell. So we can recalibrate the load cell by clicking here. And this button is used to start the ignition process. This is a virtual monitor to get the data and everything so that we can see everything as the simulation goes on. So first I will unmount the SD card, yeah, and start the simulation. So we can see it is initializing the SD card, but as the card is not mounted, so it cannot detect it and it is showing card failed. So we will mount it again and start the simulation. Make sure that it is 0. So it is calibrating. The calibrating process is going on now. Yeah, it is telling to put 100 Newton weight, so we'll make it 10 here for reference of 100 Newton. Yeah, so it is showing press the button to start the ignition, and along with it the thrust and temperature values are shown here. So we'll change it to see if it gets changed here or not. Yeah, so it is changing according to the load cell and thermocouple values. Yeah, so now we will start the ignition. We'll click this button. Yeah, so it is showing reverse countdown of 10 seconds started for ignition, and you can see the numbers are printed from 9 to 0, and this LED is constantly glowing for visualizing the ignition process. So as soon as it becomes 0 here, the lamp glows, and again the relay is set to off. And this process happens means the nichrome wire glows for a few seconds, maybe 1 second or 2 seconds, and the ignition starts, and again the thrust and temperature values are noted here. So after the ignition, the thrust and temperature values will drastically go very high for some seconds, and then it will again drop. So these data values at each second will get stored in the SD card, and afterwards by using the data stored in the SD card we can make a graph of thrust versus time. Thank you.